Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. Today we are finally playing as the Netherlands and we're building a proper navy. Thanks to the latest naval patch, fleets actually hit and the AI might behave. From a tiny nation to a naval powerhouse, let's go. So the tiny nation of the Netherlands. We have a fairly average focus tree, which is a little bit outdated now, but it's got some good bonuses, especially for the Navy. So we're going to be going pure historical route, joining the Allies, and then there's a few nice little bonuses we can pick up in the focus tree. So we can get a few doctrines, we can get some bonuses to submarines, and our Admiral can get some additional buffs. There's a little dockyard output and 4 free dockyards down here as the 4th ally. So there's some nice stuff to pick over here in the political side. We also have a nice bit of navy over here, so a few dockyards, a few doctrines. We also get some cruiser bonuses, some research stuff, a few more destroyer bonuses, and we do get some heritage. So we get a dockyard output again, and a few more doctrines. So a lot of doctrine bonuses. So the plan is obviously to capitulate really quickly, and then we'll continue the war in Batavia and fall back to the Dutch East Indies and wreak absolute havoc on the Japanese in the Pacific before returning to our homeland. We will start with the gold standard, get a bit of construction speed, and then we'll do a few of these other ones to get more construction speed up because we start with quite a deficit from our national spirit. So we'll start with abandon the gold standard. We do start with a small navy, so we've got a few destroyers and some light cruisers. We do have coastal defense ships as well, which are not very good. These cruisers are also particularly poor, so I'm really tempted just to delete all of these because we don't want that. Especially the speed here, 30 speed is absolute pants. So it's probably not worth upgrading because we'll have to do some engines and bits and pieces. So I am very much tempted just to bin these off and sink these to the bottom of the sea. But we'll see later on. What I will do is bunch them all up first, and then we'll get them on naval exercises just to get our XP up so we can just start designing other ships. We do start with some average national spirits to sort of balance ourselves out. Shell-shocked spectator of the Great War is not brilliant, but we lose that as soon as we are in a defensive war, so that's not a problem. That will soon go. The construction speed we are working towards, so that's okay. Weak government. I forgot about weak government, so we will quickly abandon the gold standard because I need to form a new government here because the political power is desperately something we do need. So we'll go and pick up form new government first, and then we'll go back to the industry. So today we're purely going heavy cruisers, light cruisers, destroyers. So we're not going to be doing battleships or carriers, and we don't have any research, so it's pointless. So we will do a little, maybe a few subs, but I'm not too sure. See how we get on. We will go and get basic destroyers because we're only doing early destroyers at the moment, and then we'll wait until we get better cruisers. We'll pick up the better torpedo launchers because that is what our destroyers are going to be for. We'll probably go for raiding shipbuilders will give more speed, and it is all about the speed today. And then we will go and get the electrical engineering just for a bit of extra research speed. Construction-wise, I'm starting off with an aviation facility in the Netherlands. I know we're going to lose that as soon as we capitulate, but unfortunately I can't build it in our puppet. So I can't actually build it over here in the Dutch East Indies, but we will then start making a few civs in our Dutch East Indies, and then we'll just switch over straight to maximum dockyards, as many as we can get in here. I know we can't utilize them as a puppet, but we will gain them later. I swear they always say they're going to nerf the XP from naval experience, but it's so easy to gain still. We're gaining loads from our small navy here. So there is no point continuing at the moment because down this route is locked because we need this one here, 25% world tension. So there's no point going that much further. We might as well start and switch back over to our industry and get our construction speed back up. Electrical mechanical is done. I won't go any further down this route because we don't need fire control at the moment. We'll pick up construction. Actually, we'll go for basic machine tools, I think, just to help our gun situation. Instead of the construction first, I think I'm going to do a bit of the navy because 3 dockyards is quite helpful, and I do want to go and get these cruiser model bonuses as quickly as possible, and then we'll switch over to industry again. So we'll work our way down to this, modernise the cruiser fleet. So for our destroyers, we want the cheapest gun possible to actually be able to build them. So we've only got light battery 1 anyway. So one of these, we don't want anti-air because you basically don't get targeted by torpedo bombers anyway. So it's completely irrelevant. Plus they're not great at defending. Fire control, we've only got 0, so that's fine. We don't have a radar. We will then just max out torpedoes. We want maximum engine force speed as well. We're obviously 2. And then just 2 torpedo launchers here. So these are going to be torpedo destroyers, nice and cheap. Excellent torpedo attack, don't care about the light attack, and then very quick, so they are basically dodging everything, because speed is more important than armor or health in this at the moment, because essentially you can't hit what you can't catch. I could upgrade these early destroyers because they're not too bad. It depends on the speed. So if I put all of these torpedo launchers on, because that's all I want, it's the speed that does us, and I want it quicker. So we're at 32. I could remove anti-air, which does help the speed, but I suppose it's pretty pointless because it only does a 0.1. So we're at 32.8, but it's not quite good enough. So I am going to upgrade 34.4 speed from engine 2. Now, because they're destroyers, the refit cost is normally not great for engines, but on a destroyer, it's not really that bad. I know, you know, we can almost get some new destroyers, but if I don't upgrade these, they're all pretty pointless, and I might as well just scuttle them. How long is it going to take? 24 days. No, I'm happy with that. 24 days to upgrade the engine and put torpedoes on is absolutely fine. So we will get all of our early destroyers upgraded as well, so we can include these in our fleet. Let's go and grab some extra armament. So we'll go and get the basic heavy battery, because we are going to need to put some heavy cruisers together. For MIO, we'll go for the max speed of high speed raiding, because like I say, it's all about speed. We don't really care about range, because that's not going to be a problem. Alright, I'm going to make my way down. So we'll get the 3 dockyards, and then we'll head towards the cruiser bonuses. So we do have a commerce raiding genius who gives us 0.4 daily, but I think the specialist for 50 is a better PP per XP gain, plus the screen attack is probably more important than the raiding stats. We'll go and get radio just so we can help towards a breakthrough point when we do get our research facility built. Naval expansion is done, so we've got some extra free dockyards. We'll go and grab the 3x50 cost reduction for naval doctrine, which isn't as important as it used to be because of the new doctrine update, but it's still good for getting the subcategories done. Meanwhile, we're working our way through these upgrades. We'll go and get the extra 5% speed as well. The mine's not as important, but the 5% speed will definitely take, because that now means our basic destroyer is up to 37.7, which is brilliant, and even our early ones are 37.6. So speedy boys. Let's go and get modernized the cruiser fleet for those excellent 2x bonuses for 2 years and 50% research bonus. We'll go and get the war industrialist as well, just to help our naval dockyards when we start building them, because there's not many other things we need to spend our PP on at the moment. So we do have the battle cruiser plan where we get some free technology, hence why I'm not going towards fire control system, because we get an improved one for free by getting this focus, which is very handy. So we do need the Germans to like us, so we do need to get this before the war kicks off. We'll start with a little bit more towards the industry first while we wait, and then we will start by improving the relations to the Germans to make sure that they like us enough to accept the focus later on. We do have our research facility, so we'll go and get ourselves our scientists we already have. We are basically wanting radar. We're in 37, so we've got a little bit of time. We do need a breakthrough point, but we should be able to get radar before we lose the facility. I'll go and start on our improved cruiser. 88 days for 1939 cruisers, and we're in 1937 still. 82 with the MIO, so we will start on that bad boy. Dispersed industry is done, so we'll go down to dispersed industry 2 for more dockyard output, and we are just finishing off our upgrades. Battle cruiser plan, because the Germans like us enough. They still do have to accept this, but there should be no reason. I've done it a few times and they've never rejected it, so I don't know what's required. Maybe if you lose the amount that they like you before the end. Approved cruisers is done, so we will go and start towards advanced cruisers. So just under 2 years, so mid 39 we shall, 607 days now, mid 39 we should have the advanced cruisers, which are now 1943 tech, and then we will start producing the best cruisers in the game. Germany happily shares their plans with us. We get dual purpose, fire control, anti-air, and basic heavy ships, which we won't be using. So there is some destroy bonuses and the dockyard output, but we don't quite need that just yet because of the amount of facilities we have. So we'll switch back over and finish off getting the construction bonuses over here. I don't know if global present heavy cruiser research speed, is that just generic cruiser research speed? Because I believe it used to be heavy and light you researched before, so I don't know if that's old. There's nothing really that great. I think I might just, for play it safe, go for naval research speed +5, because we do have a lot to research. Spirit of the Academy is not as important. And then we shall start on another radar just to help towards our breakthrough point, because we are still a little bit off of it and time is starting to get on. So I'm just looking, output, light attack. There's another max speed here, so I think I'm going to go for that first. So we will queue up these 3 and we'll grab the next max speed for all of our screens, which would be very handy for us speedy boys. We do have our breakthrough point, so we will start on radar, which we should get about April 39, so, you know, plenty of time before the Germans roll in. So we'll start that, and then we can add radar into our ships. Obviously, the gateway to Europe is broken, so we will have to join the British by placating them ourselves, and we'll go and get the improved light battery as well, just to help out with our light and heavy guns. So we'll just do this a few times so we can continue down the focus tree. I mean, dominates is a bit of a strong word for 5 extra. We'll go and get the better torpedoes, or work towards the better torpedo tubes. Doctrine-wise, I'm tempted with trade interdiction because you get some nice naval detection, submarine attacks, some naval targeting. These are all heavy ships, which we're not doing too many. Bit of AA attack, and then obviously carriers, which we're not doing either. So I think this is the best. We get some better AUG as well, and some torpedo reveal distance, and a few other bits towards torpedoes. Sub-doctrine wise, we're going to go for the new school because we get light attack for the light cruisers, torpedo attack, and then destroyers get extra speed as well. So we get all bonuses. Light attack for the light cruisers is the main one because they're going to shred through our screens for us. So we'll go the new school. Now I can see what naval commands are relevant. So we've got a few good ones. There's visibility is not really that important. Screen attack +5, not exactly that beneficial. I'm tempted with the weather experience because bad weather -40 is pretty good because bad weather is a massive impact. I'm just checking that I can annex the Dutch East Indies and I won't break this focus, and it doesn't appear to because we have got up their compliance. So I'm just going to go ahead and annex them, and all of those lovely dockyards we started building we now have in our possession. I wasn't joking, we are going to scuttle all the coastal defence ships and the early cruisers because they are just not fit for purpose of our new speedy fleet. So they are gone. We then are just left with destroyers and subs at the moment, but obviously our destroyers are very, very quick. So we will just split out our subs, obviously, because we don't want them in the same task force. Radar is research. Perfect. We no longer need that facility, so it's happily for the Germans to take. Advanced cruisers. So we are going for heavy cruisers. So heavy cruiser 3 does require 2 steel, and we don't have a lot of steel. So I'm going to have to go for heavy cruiser 2, I think, just because we will not be able to afford it. Anti-air, obviously, we're not doing again because they don't target enough, and that does not do enough damage to torpedo bombers. So I think it's pretty irrelevant and a waste of PC. We'll do fire control 2, which we got for free off the Germans, which will increase our hit chance, which is very nice. We will go for radar 1 just for surface detection, but we obviously will get some extra bonuses later. Cruiser engine 4, which makes it a very, very speedy boy. I mean, way faster than the destroyers as well. So good luck hitting this bad boy. I will go and get the second battery 2s for some extra light attack and piercing. Armor, I'm going to go for cruiser armor 2. It's a bit 50-50 whether it's pointless putting this in. In single player, I think the armor is more than the AI will have piercing, so you've got no chance of these getting sunk, really. We'll give it 1 extra heavy cruiser 2 battery, so we get some extra heavy attack and piercing. I'll go for a few of the float planes because we're going to have to do a lot of patrolling and we need to spot stuff. And there's not really much else I want to put on these, so we'll just max out the, you know, we can't do light batteries or light cruiser batteries. So the only thing we can do is second batteries for a little bit more light attack and piercing. We don't want to slow them down with massive heavy guns plus the PC, so we'll give them a couple of those, and then I think we'll just, should we just max out the spotting, I suppose, because that is going to be key. So these are sort of there to be speedy, try and be shot because they're the capital ships, and that means everyone will target them, and they'll also be good at spotting, plus some good heavy attack. 41 knots, so no chance hitting it, and if they do, the armor is probably better than the AI piercing, and the production cost isn't too bad. Start going further down the radar route because we get some light attack and heavy battery attack hit chance. We'll go and get Phillips next to get ourselves some electrical bonuses so we can use that towards the radars. I'm going to go for fast battleships, I think. Heavy cruisers max speed, so they're even quicker. Because everyone targets the heavy cruisers, we basically want them to be unhittable by making them the speediest ships going. I think I'm going to aim for 6 heavy cruisers, so we'll even these out so we've got 3 on the go at once. Then we'll switch over to light cruisers, and then we'll do a few more destroyers, I think. Germany has declared on us, which is about time. Obviously, we've got no troops here to defend ourselves because we have no interest of surviving. We need to obviously join the British as soon as possible, so we don't actually capitulate. We do join the faction and become a government in exile. There's our capitulation, which is as planned. We can now go move our capital to the Dutch East Indies and relocate our government. We also, well, I mean, we don't do any of this annexation anymore, but I think we still get the compliance gain, which is good. But we're building that up already, so we should be near 100% compliance. We'll go and get the bracket shooting. However, it only does battle cruisers and battleships, which we don't have. But later on, we get the heavy cruiser, light attack and defense. And we also get destroyers and light cruisers. So it's the later ones we want, but we obviously have to do bracket shooting to start with. So we will start with that. We do have better radar now, so I'm going to switch our heavy cruisers to radar 3, which gives us a nice bit more surface and sub detection and some light and heavy hit chance. So we will get these ones out next and probably upgrade the old ones. We do start with 2 perfect admirals. So our main fleet, we are actually going to give the Seawolf here, Conrad. He's bold, career officer for leader experience, Seawolf, which is good, superior tactician is good. And the reason we want Seawolf is it gives us the extra torpedo gains here, which is brilliant. We have superior tactician, so we can get cruiser captain and we can get destroyer leader. And then we will go and pick up a couple of torpedo ones for our destroyers. We don't want hunter killer or anything. So we'll go for lancer, I think is better for screen penetration. And then we'll get loading drill master. And then for our subs, we will actually give them the blockade runner, which is impossible to get with subs. But it's brilliant because, you know, we can get Seawolf easily with subs. We can get the blockade runner here, and then we get the concealment expert for 10% visibility negative. I am lacking convoys, so we're going to beg, borrow, and steal convoys from absolutely anyone who is willing to give us some. We don't really want to use our dockyards making them. We probably will have to, but I can steal as many as I can to begin with. There is a lovely 6 dockyards down here in colonial shipbuilding, so we will head towards that because we desperately need more dockyards. I suppose it's time we design our light cruisers. So we're going for light cruiser battery 2s because they require no steel, but the battery 3s do, and we don't have steel. If you do have loads of steel, just do light cruiser battery 3s, but we're going to do 2s. We obviously don't need anti-air again, as I've explained. We will do fire control 2 for the light battery hit. We'll do radar 3s for extra light battery hit chance as well. We'll put the best engines on them, so they are unbelievably speedy boys as usual. We will not bother with second batteries because we are doing the light batteries anyway. We are tempted to do the armor. I don't know. We'll do it because these are going to be expensive. A little bit more expense and make sure they don't sink is probably worth it because nothing will be able to pierce 8 that the AI has. And then we'll just stack the top row with light cruiser battery 2s to get that light attack to an absolute maximum, which means these should shred through screens of the enemies, which allow our torpedoes and heavy cruisers to smash through the capitals. We have still got loads of speed, so they're not going to be able to be hit, and enough armor that if they do, we're fine. Bit of sub and surface detection as well. We're going to do some little test and training in the Med, I think, just to help the Allies out with the Italian Navy, which isn't too much of a problem. So we've got 2 heavy cruisers, 19 destroyers out, just trying to find some Italian ships. But I don't know if the Brits have already sunk them, but I just can't seem to find anything. Here's a few destroyers, which is fine. So this is going to get some excellent XP and a few destroyers done. As usual, I think the AI will be doing small little fleets like this on patrol, and then they'll have the big boys out on strike force. Few subs, but I don't really have the capacity to destroy subs at the moment, so they're a bit of a nuisance. Another heavy cruiser out, so we'll join that up to the fleet. We've got 3 heavy and 1 light. There is some Italians here, so we are just sort of chasing them around the Med because they do seem to be disappearing. Oh, we have got an engagement here, and this is the Italian Navy. Finally, we have found it, and it is immediately going to the bottom of the Mediterranean. So that is basically the Italian Navy done. That's not by us, so we didn't even get the battleship. Couple more here. So we did get one of the Italian battleships was sunk by probably one of our heavy cruisers. So we have destroyed the Italians. We'll grab the 3 dockyards from prepare for our return, but we have no plan on that just yet. Let's go and send our navy over to the Dutch East Indies, and we will finally prepare to fight Japan, the big boss who is going to be the difficult one. United Kingdom requests naval integration. I mean, no, absolutely not. We're just not going to give over all of our ships to the UK. Ship a day sinking quotas. So we give our Conrad here, our main admiral, an attack, 2 maneuver, and 1 coordination skill. Let's go for the South China Sea. We're just going to go on patrol. We've got 4 heavy cruisers, 3 light, and 18 destroyers. So we'll delete the Bismarck Sea. We're going to do a few smaller regions. We're on, obviously, aggressive and do not repair, so that we should engage everything and we shouldn't retreat. So we're getting some convoys to start with. Few destroyers. This will be the patrols that the Japanese are sending to increase their naval dominance and search for their main fleets on strike force. So we should smash our way through any of these little cruiser or destroyers that we find. We are locating more. We are experience fresh. There's a few experience from the Italy battle. Here's some nice cruisers, so that's absolutely fine. If we can smash our way through this, which it is, there goes the screens and the 2 cruisers with them. We lost 1 destroyer, so that is pretty good exchange rate. So anything like that, I think we'll have absolutely zero problem getting through. Another cruiser and a few destroyers. Again, this should be easy work for our little fleet here of very OP ships. So that is the bottom of the Pacific. Still just searching for fleets. We haven't found anything large yet, just these small cruiser and destroyers, but we have got some good spotting on our ships, so we should be able to find some. Another couple of cruisers and destroyers. Another destroyer lost by us, but again, the exchange rate is very good, so we were happy with that. We will do that all day long. We are currently at 5 losses and 156 kills, so that is pretty good going. We've got a few subs, a few light hulls. We do have, obviously, the battleship of the Italians, cruiser of the Italians last year, and then 11 cruisers and 24 light hulls of the Japanese, plus these ones here. I don't know if they add in. A few good victories, so we'll go on to repair just to get these in. We want to make sure we don't end up losing any ships. We are in Hong Kong, so it's not even depleting our dockyards. The Brits are happily repairing our ships. The Bismarck Sea has got a lot of activity, so I'm hoping we can find ourselves a big Japanese navy here. Just a few cruisers and destroyers. Oh, but we do have the large Japanese navy. So we've got 3 carriers, a few battle cruisers and battleships, only 70% screen, and the planes don't seem to be doing much. So we should be able to smash through the screens. We're obviously not going to retreat. They are dropping like flies. There goes a battleship as well. Any of the carriers, no, they obviously always get away because they're on the last line. We might be able to get, maybe we've got 1 more of those battleships. 2 battleships, 27 destroyers, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cruisers for 0 losses. Engaged again. Is this? We've caught the carriers and the battleship. They've got 0 screens. Hopefully we can sink all of this. I mean, depends how quick they are. There goes a couple of battle cruisers. The carriers don't seem to be taking much damage, and no, I think all the carriers. Yeah, we got the 3 battle cruisers and a battleship and a heavy cruiser, but the 3 carriers did get away rather annoyingly. I didn't manage to catch the carriers again, so I'm going to spread out a bit to see where they're repairing and see if I can get my hands on them. But the Japanese fleet does seem to be sort of moving about into regions, and we don't seem to be able to catch it at the moment. Some of our heavy ships did take damage, so we will go and repair just to get these back up to full health. Mainly because the carriers are probably doing the same, so we want to wait them out and find them. Oh, here's 2 carriers. I don't know if these are the same ones. I didn't pay attention, but they have lost a few destroyers. If we can get through this, they've only got 66%. We've got the pride of the fleet as well. As long as we can get through the screens, we should be able to deal massive damage here. We are losing a few ships, but yeah, their carriers, as usual, get away. And it looks like the pride of the fleet got away as well. Okay, brilliant. I mean, we did take a couple of losses there, but again, big damage to the Japanese navy. I thought it was a light cruiser, but annoyingly we've lost one of our heavy cruisers, which is really irritating. That must have been literally in that battle then. Okay, right, I'm going to get a couple more heavy cruisers on the go, because 3 is probably not enough. So we'll get a couple more on. 5 should be enough, so we'll just get a few dockyards off the light onto heavies. There's a few Japanese. I think we're just finding these Japanese screens again, which is rather irritating. We are basically got naval dominance, apart from the Bismarck Sea. Few more patrol fleets. Again, absolutely no problem for our fleet. Smash our way through them. I'm just having such a difficult time finding. They just keep running away. I assume it's a lot of subs and other bits and pieces we can't catch. But we're trying to get our patrol around and just catch up with something, because it's getting a little bit tedious now. What do the Japanese actually have left? So they've got no light cruisers at all. Couple of heavy, few destroyers, load of carriers and a few battleships, but they're obviously not going to go out without screens. I'm having no luck, so let's go and get a few of our light cruisers out. I know these aren't the best spotting ones, but they do have radar, and we'll leave these on strike force, and the 8 carriers will split out, or 8 cruisers, and we'll get onto patrol, and hopefully they can locate the fleets for us. So even with just a light cruiser, it smashes through their screen, so As long as we don't come up against something big with the cruisers, I'm happy to keep them on engage, because normally I'll have my patrols on retreat, but I think they can more than hold their own. I seem to be getting convoy raided a lot, so let's design some new destroyers. We'll go for the cheapest light battery because we don't care. We'll go for the best sonar because we have modern sonar. We will put the best radar as well because that does sub detection. We could do fire control. Yeah, fire control does no sub stuff, so we'll leave that. We will do the best torpedo, and then we'll split it 50-50. Depth charge, we'll do 2 torpedoes, and we'll do another depth charge 4. So these should find any sub and absolutely flatten them. Still can't locate anything. We have got naval dominance, so our naval invasion has just kicked off and landed, which I've not been paying attention to. So we will quickly take the port of Nagasaki, and then we'll just invade. We are starting... I mean, those 2 destroyers have absolutely smashed their way through these subs. They've come in to help out our main fleet, but I mean, majority of those 24 sub kills were done by 2 destroyers. So yeah, HMS Rotterdam and HMS Holland has basically done all of the damage. They've still got quite a few ships. Again, well, 1 cruiser now, but they've got a load of carriers that just don't want to come out to play, so clearly it's not been fixed too much. It might be time just to cap Japan. I'm hoping by taking a few ports we might force some of the carriers out, but I would imagine they're probably scattered around the Pacific, just hiding in little islands, and I really can't be bothered to take them. Right, we've pushed out there. Night vision 1 is fine. Absolutely going to flood the HOMARs now, so this should be Japan pretty much out of it. I have split my fleet into 4, and yet we still can't find anything. We've got another load of destroyers on the search, but nothing seems to be out and about. There seems to be absolutely no Japanese ships whatsoever. Let's just take Tokyo and cap this off, I think. It's about time we put Japan out of their misery because they just don't want to fight us in the sea. We do actually have the majority of the war score, which is nice, so I'm going to try and get a whole puppet of Japan. We did quite well out of that. We have got a Dutch Japan. We also have a Dutch Vietnam, although it's just called the Republic of Vietnam, but it is completely owned by us as a puppet. The question is, does Germany? Yes, they do. Germany does still have a fleet, so I think we should wipe that out. I mean, the Allies have basically reconquered our land for us anyway, so we'll get our army back over to Europe. Little German fleet of destroyers that we just immediately sunk. If you haven't noticed, I had stolen a little bit of the Japanese Navy because I thought, why not? Few subs, which won't be a problem for our excellent destroyers now, which I've just merged into the same fleet. But I can't seem to find this last battleship that the Germans have. We can finally do a liberation as well to give us some war support. We get a load of equipment, attack and defense on core, but more importantly, we return to the Netherlands themselves. I reckon there's going to be a few fleets. Yeah, there is a a task force in this dockyard naval base here. Oh, that is the battle cruiser, and it has got absolutely... Did we actually not get that? No way. We just found a battle cruiser that basically it was like Swiss cheese, and we couldn't put it to the bottom of the ocean. That is unbelievable. How did we not manage that? I think the Germany's about to capitulate. I have a feeling they're going to be stuck here in Denmark, because they don't really have any other port. So they must be somewhere, and we definitely want to finish them off before Germany caps. Oh, I think we've got them. Here we go. Here is the German Navy that was hiding in Denmark. So this should easily be pummeled to the bottom of the ocean. There goes a battle cruiser. Oh, the battle cruiser and the battleship did get away. We got one of them at least. But where could they possibly retreat to? We do need to get the rest of the ports, I suppose, but I can't imagine they are stuck there. We've got the Danish port. We are located... Oh, we do. Danish belts. Here we go. Here we go. And there's a Danish pride of the fleet as well. There goes Denmark. Can we just completely finish off the Axis Navy here? There goes the pride of the fleet. And no, still more of a got away. We did get the battleship finally, but we have lost 2 battle cruisers. The question is, can we get to Bornholm to make the last port of the Axis basically push out before Hungary capitulates? No, we can't. There we go. The Axis is done, and we didn't get to sink them all, unfortunately, but never mind. Alright, that's going to do it for today. As usual, the naval losses mechanic has not worked, so it hasn't kept tally of what we've done. But the Netherlands now has a navy it actually deserves. If you enjoyed this run, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and let me know what nation you want me to turn into a naval powerhouse next. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.